Good afternoon, traders and investors. It's Will back here with another one, another little red day in the markets day, guys. And this is pretty much the fourth red day in a row for a lot of these indexes here. Apple, one of our major contributors to the downside now for 2 days in a row. And dare I say, Apple responsible for most of your negative move here down today on the SPY and QQQ. So we'll take a look into that. Apple chart not looking the greatest as they have just lost the daily uptrend. So we'll take a look at our major indexes, take a look at our major tech names as well. So let's get into it right away, guys, and see how are these markets holding up? Can we save these daily uptrends? Let's have a look. SPY down 0.31% on the day, QQQ down 0.72% on the day. You can see on the heat map here, fairly mixed market for once. Now, healthcare with a decent little day here, but giving a lot of it back in the end of the day. Financials not able to put in too much of a gain either. You can see that our major loss contributor here on the day was indeed Apple for the second day in a row as their China news continues to plague them. A bit of FUD in my opinion, because it has been about 2 years now, as I've discovered, that the Chinese government has been cracking down on the use of Apple phones for government officials. Now, in light of China's foreign national policy and their kind of protective state of their technology, it's normal that they don't want to use foreign products for at least their government officials. But the media is treating this as if it's a general ban on Apple phones across the country, which is not the case. So a bit of being blown out of proportion, in my opinion. On the one-day relative here, you can see that the only major sectors in the green here, utilities, real estate, healthcare, defensives, and a bit of communication services here, guys. But once again, technology, our major loss leader on the day, largely, once again, responsible for Apple, Microsoft down a bit, and NVIDIA also almost a minus 2% day. Our semiconductors did not have a great day at all. So where do we stand in the grand scheme of things, guys, here, right? Well, we're going to take a look at SPY. SPY, we're still looking for the daily higher low, but you can see we are now below our moving averages, and we did move below our clean horizontal support line here, closing pretty much at it here. Going to take a look at the fibs here to see how healthy are the bulls. Well, in terms of the bulls, they have now given back almost, as of this morning, right? Almost the 618 level. This is the line in the sand level, guys, because if we continue to push below this, it becomes increasingly difficult for the bulls to just V-shape this move, right? Could turn into a tightening range at best, or at worst, could turn into a daily downtrend, which would lead us into further weekly consolidation. Not going to call the weekly downtrend formation yet, because it still could just be a tightening range at the top, like these indexes can do a few times. So we're going to take this one day at a time here, guys. But one thing is for sure, this is the bull's last stand to save the capacity for a daily V-shaped uptrend continuation and start taking back a bit more of this move. So tomorrow's day, in my opinion, is going to be a fairly crucial day of trading. Not much data out tomorrow, but we do have CPI next week. So watch out for that. If CPI comes in a bit hotter, guys, and we don't put in some decent recovery before CPI, you could just get the flush if that is the case. So be prepared for that. QQQ also looking for the daily higher low still. QQQ still holding the moving averages quite decently, even despite Apple's little sell-off here. So we're going to give the bulls that. If we pull the fib up on it to see how much of this move they've taken back, let's have a look. They have taken back roughly 50%, right? Only 50% of the move. So still possible for our technology bulls here to V-shape this move and push to higher highs. We're going to take this one day at a time, but is now the time for the bulls to make their stand. They've taken back a lot of this move here in the past 4 days, so I need to see them play some defense into tomorrow and Monday to kind of take a little bit of this off and take the pressure here off of our down swings, because they are getting fairly decent here. So the daily uptrend is still in motion here, but the more you take back of this, the more likelihood you either set up for the tightening range or potentially a new daily downtrend, which would lead us into weekly consolidation. Not going to call the weekly downtrend as of yet, because the bulls have put in a decent amount of space on this bounce. Could just end up a tightening range. So we're going to take this one day at a time. But if we do continue to drop lower, guys, there are a few opportunities that could present themselves to us on the horizon. XLF here ending minus 0.26%. We were actually positive on XLF during the day, but you can see that they mostly gave this back intraday, right? So ending the day negative here, but we did push up into positive territory, giving it back towards the end of the day. But XLF trying desperately here to potentially reverse this hourly big downtrend that we've been having, right? So the bulls are trying to play defense at these lower levels here, but I need to see a bit more for them. What are we looking for? Looking still for the daily higher low for future continuation. I like the size of this bounce, guys. If we put the fib on this, right, you'll see that we've only lost about 50% of the move. It did trail down yesterday all the way to the 618, but bulls playing some good defense, not allowing it to close down there. So now is also go time for XLF bulls. Need to see the bulls start to trend higher, get back above our moving averages here, and start really pushing back up into this 3478 area. That's going to be very, very, very crucial. We are trying to save this weekly uptrend here 1 week at a time, right? So gonna need the bulls to put in a bit more work. I need participation from financials and XLV to really start lifting SPY a bit more, because QQQ has not been able to get it done on its own here. August and September known for negative seasonality. We've been preparing for this on the channel. I like the size of the bounce that the bulls were able to put in on SPY and QQQ, right? However, without participation from financials and healthcare, it's going to be tough for them to hold this up. So we'll see how this plays out. This month, we do have CPI next week, and then after that, we do have the Fed meeting. Fed meeting is supposed to be a pause, so we'll see what they do with that. But just to let you guys know that we do have a few big catalysts coming up here and negative seasonality to deal with as well. So need to see over the next few days the bulls can really put a stop to this here, seek for the daily higher low, and start pushing higher. XLV Healthcare. Healthcare putting in a positive day, but not a very beautiful candle at all, if I do say so myself, guys, right? Giving a lot of it back intraday. Bulls not able to hold up the early morning gains, fading here into the close. However, we have set up for the hourly trend change. So this is something that we lost this entire move here. Haven't had an hourly trend change pretty much since back pretty much a week and a half ago, right? On 2 Wednesdays ago, right? So at this point, guys, need this hourly uptrend to maintain. As long as your hourly uptrend gets maintained, your daily bounce can be underway. Now, the bulls have their work cut out for them. You need to start cutting in as much of this move as possible to set up for a potential daily trend change here. I'd like to see them bounce at least towards the higher 133s, 134 area. On the weekly, what are we dealing with here, guys? Still dealing with this little weekly tightening range here. Going to see how it closes tomorrow, guys. I want to see them stay above 132.50 here. They have a bit more work to do coming into tomorrow. But if they can do this, we will maintain this tightening range pattern with the closes, right? I know we dipped a little bit below, but we're going to go off these closes, see if we can stay above these moving averages for tomorrow for our weekly close. Weekly line in the sand level, I'll remind you, 129 is absolutely crucial, right? Crucial to maintain this weekly uptrend breakout here that we got right here. Going to need to see if they can maintain this, right? Bulls definitely with their work cut out for them. We're going to take this one day at a time. Still battling this previous resistance area is this whole area that we're now using as pretty much support, right? So we're going to take this one day at a time, and hopefully bulls can start putting in some decent gains, which will translate into gains on the SPY as well. IWM Russell giving back too much, guys. Another 1% day here. So it has not been a good week for growth stocks. All of this move has pretty much been taken back by the bears at this point. This is exactly what you don't want to see here on the weekly, potentially leading for a head and shoulders pattern, especially if we close this down there. If we do that, guys, if the bulls do start trending towards these lows here, right? Well, it sets up the bears beautifully for a daily downtrend resumption and potentially a flush. They never actually changed the daily uptrend, never set the higher low. Still have a bit of room to do it here, guys. Anything above 181.76 can do it. But at this point, if the bulls do take control here, they may have to just two-step this, right? It's going to be very tough for them to V-shape this. I'll put the fib on it just so you guys can see. When the bears take back so much of a move, guys, it's very, very difficult on any chart, index, or stock for the bulls to take this back, right? Almost 80% of the move has been taken back at this point. So the best case scenario is going to be your tightening range for a potential breakout to the upside. And the worst case scenario is the bears setting up for a potential new daily downtrend, guys. So we're going to keep a close eye on our Russell, but if ever we do start breaking out of this area, I'll remind you our support level stays put right in the 180 pocket here. Decent area of support. Still stuck in this massive year and a bit range here. So need to see more performance by our IWM bulls. And in my opinion, That's only going to come if we can get some broad market support from our larger financial names, which then pours into our regional banks getting absolutely crushed this week, leading for most of the downside here, in my opinion, on IWM. Dow Jones recovering ever so slightly in the day, started off negative, put in a decent amount of movement here into the close here. So bulls, what are they trying to do? Trying to change the hourly uptrend, right? So I want to see them get back above our support line here, right? 34,600-ish. So we'll see if they can do it tomorrow here. They're trying to put a stop to the bleeding. But once again, this is another chart. The bulls never confirmed the uptrend. Similar to SPY, you can see this beautiful daily confirmed uptrend here. Dow Jones has never said it. We've been looking for the higher low. And now, once again, we'll pull out the fib. This is a very useful tool in knowing what are the likely scenarios when you do get a bounce, right? So you can see, guys, that we came down almost to the 786 line. So it's going to be very tough unless the broad market really turns around here, right? Very tough to V-shape this. May actually have to do it in 2 moves, tighten it up potentially, and set a break to the upside. On the weekly, guys, we are still looking for the continuation of this weekly uptrend. So all hope is not lost, guys. They can still do this. Even if we consolidate on the daily here, on the weekly, it's still going to just look like we're just grinding on the weekly, right? So going to keep an eye on this, guys. Line in the sand for the Dow Jones. I'll remind you, 33,700. If we lose that, right, or if we even lose this area, 34,000, guys, weekly downtrend is confirmed. Then we have to go up to the higher time frames here, and then you're going to be looking for anything above 32,800 to be your monthly higher low. Good little moving average on the monthly down here. So still some space for the longer term bulls to work with, guys. But as I've been saying in my previous videos as well, the short-term time frames need to start moving to the bulls here. A lot of consolidation in the past 3-4 days. I'll admit, more than I wanted to see. So we'll see. Are our weekly bounces finished? On a lot of these indexes, are we going for the weekly downtrends here, right? Are we potentially going for the weekly downtrends, which would be monthly consolidation, potentially for the month of September and early October? Or are the bulls going to be able to come out of where they've been hiding and put a stop to all of this bleeding here? So let's look into our big tech names, starting off with Apple here. Apple, huge drop, guys. Apple in 2 days pretty much, right? Top to bottom, Apple down almost 8%. You would be hard-pressed to find an 8% drop in 2 days without earnings here on Apple over the past entire year, right? So very, very, very negative 2 days on Apple. As I was explaining, a bit of an overblown day on Apple, especially with their news that I was talking about in the intro here. So a bit of FUD, but what has happened on Apple at this point, guys? We have lost the daily uptrend. 176 was our daily higher low. Flushed it. Came all the way down today into the higher 173 area, right? So now bulls have to start from scratch. New daily uptrend is needed at this point, right? On the weekly, what are we looking for here, guys? Weekly, well, looking dicey, guys. If we flush the 172 area, this would be a weekly confirmed downtrend, and you would be looking for further monthly consolidation on Apple. This is already monthly consolidation over the past 2 months, as you can clearly see, right? Monthly consolidation. But if we do get the weekly downtrend, guys, right, it's going to take a bit longer for Apple to be able to really start reversing this. You may even need the October or November candles to start doing it at that point, guys. So crucial level is 172. If we do start dipping into this area here, especially in the 160s, I will be playing Apple. But just so you guys know, guys, a lot of work for the bulls now to play catch up on this. Can they do it? Well, Apple is a very bullish stock overall. It's a crowd favorite for the most part here. So once we work through this FUD, we're going to need Apple's participation if you want to see good performance on these indexes. I like the work that the bulls have put in early on the morning here, trying to get in their first little work here of reversing this hourly uptrend. So we'll see if they can do it here, guys. But now bulls have to start out from scratch and definitely weighing heavily on our indexes. So keep an eye on that for Apple. AMD here. AMD also losing, right? AMD with a big negative day here, guys. Top to bottom from yesterday, guys. We were down a lot, as a matter of fact, from yesterday's top to the bottom today, over 5.5% in 2 days, right? So not the type of price action you wanted to see on AMD. I wanted to see a bit of a shallow move down, but AMD has been one of our more volatile names here in the past. So still looking for the daily higher low, guys. Still a decent amount of space to work with. Anything above 99.73 is just going to be looking for your daily higher low. Bulls had to play defense at these moving averages and the 107 support, but we lost it, right? Lost it. So now this little pocket area, my sweet spot, 104 down to 99 pretty much, is going to be the area to watch out for the bulls to step in and say, no, we want to move higher, right? So going to be taking a close look at that on AMD. If it does come down to my sweet spot, I will be playing some options definitely into next week. And on the weekly, still haven't put in enough space, in my opinion, to reverse this weekly downtrend. So the weekly downtrend does continue, right? So we'll see if they can put a stop to that, guys. The 99.73 level is going to be absolutely crucial. Need the bulls to start really regaining this and really crack our 112 area here to really set this daily uptrend in motion. They still have not confirmed the daily uptrend, so keep an eye on AMD. Amazon, one of our stocks here that had some beautiful performance on the day, guys. Big day on Amazon. Bottom to top because we had a gap down open here, 3.5% gap down open all the way to the top. Very beautiful performance on Amazon. I like it, right? So daily uptrend was set here. We're just looking for a higher low, and we just got it here, right? So now the line in the sand level remains 133. We are now breaking above our whole support area here. Clean close above our moving averages as well. So that is the type of price movement that you like to see from these stocks, right? So now we are going to be looking higher, guys. Need to crack the 140 area to really maintain this daily uptrend intact. Weekly uptrend here is definitely in motion. No red flags on Amazon, contrary to a couple of our other names. So out of all the major tech names, guys, Amazon and Google actually looking the best, right? Tesla not looking too bad either, but Amazon with some beautiful continuation. I need to see them crack above 140 to really maintain this daily uptrend, but great job today on cracking multiple levels at the same time here with no real news from Amazon per se, being weighed down a bit yesterday by the FTC lawsuit, but you can see they've recovered beautifully intraday today. Google also with a fairly decent day, up 0.61%, right? Google, this is the type of move I like to see. Shallow pullback into the moving averages, one of our nicer charts here. Daily uptrend is confirmed, just looking for the higher low. Anything pretty much above 128 was just that higher low. So still looking for it here, playing some great defense. Also playing some great defense with our, I can't draw straight lines to save my life, guys, I'm sorry. Also playing defense with this horizontal support area. Little range here that we have going. So some decent little confluence in this area for Amazon. We'll see what they can do with it. I need to see a break at this point, guys. If the bulls do recover, 138.50 is your target to look at. On the weekly, Google's still looking absolutely beautiful. Weekly uptrend does continue. Anything above 128, even if we do pull back ever so slightly, will just be for a weekly higher low. But Google and Amazon representing some of our nicer charts in terms of they control the daily, weekly, and monthly, right? A lot of our other charts, daily uptrends aren't so clear, and they are in weekly consolidation. But Google and Amazon really leading the way in this second, pretty much in the last 3 months where Amazon and Microsoft kind of led them out the gate, right? So Google and Amazon, very good performance as of the last 1 or 2 months. Very nice. Meta unable to get it done, guys. Closing below here. We did push up here, closing to 0.17, right? Negative on the day. We pushed up all the way to 306. Then the bulls just got absolutely destroyed intraday here today, guys. I don't remember if there was news. I kind of noticed this move after it happened on Meta, but now Meta bulls were able to recover from that. Didn't see if there was any news specific on Meta to really get such a big move down here, but definitely a big give back by the bulls, guys. Daily uptrend is still in motion here. We are still looking for the daily higher low. If we did top out here, anything above 276.60 is just going to be looking for that daily higher low, holding on to the moving averages, holding above our horizontal line of support here around 288, right? So we're going to take this one day at a time, but Meta definitely not one of the cleanest daily uptrends here. I was looking, if we could have gotten all the way up here, guys, 308 today would have been absolutely beautiful, would have put in a lot of space, guys. But you see, we've had a lot of difficulty with this 300 psychological level, guys, ever since the past 5-6 days, struggling to close above the 300 psychological level, guys. So if we do start pushing down, this is going to be another name that, in my opinion, has not taken back enough of this weekly move, could be setting up for potentially, it's very shallow, guys. But if we do start breaking down on our indexes as well, you might get a weekly downtrend, which would further our monthly consolidation on Meta. But Meta, amazing amount of space to work with still. It's performed beautifully on the year. I don't think anybody should be disappointed with this, even if we get a bit of negative price action here. But for now, our daily bulls are still in control, but not looking as healthy as Google or Amazon definitely here. So we'll keep an eye on this very closely. Microsoft, similar to Meta here, guys, not getting it done high enough. not closing above our previous high. This is kind of like a double top on the previous high here, right? 303 was the area to watch. Microsoft having a very tough time closing above. This is the NVIDIA earnings after hours candle, right? So having a very difficult time closing above that. I do think that we do have some decent space above 319. This is a daily uptrend, but it's not pretty. All right. Anything above 319, if we do continue to pull back here, is going to be for a daily high or low. Do have the moving averages as support, but bulls not looking very healthy. We'll see if they can turn it around here and really get a bit more move out of this weekly move down here. But as of now, just like Meta, not satisfied with the move up on Microsoft. It opens the door. If ever we lose these daily uptrends for some reason, it really opens the door for this to be a weekly bear flag here and really push to lower lows, which will be further monthly consolidation on Microsoft. Microsoft now consolidating for almost 2 months already. So if we do pull back here, guys, keep in mind my sweet spot is all the way down here, and I will be pretty happy to pick up some Microsoft shares if ever we do flush. So all is not bad, guys. These will represent some good long-term buying scenarios. You know, monthly bulls are in full control. So these dips are for long-term buying. It's just can't get it done in the short term on a lot of these names. NVIDIA dumping today, absolutely dumping, right? So if we take it pretty much from yesterday's close, recovering nicely intraday, but they were down over 3.5% from yesterday, closing at around half that, right? Minus 1.74. But NVIDIA also breaking down below, guys. We're getting very close to our line in the sand level, 450. 450 is going to be the area to watch, guys. What were we saying? This is pretty much your consolidation range at the high. So we'll see if we can continue to tighten up here on NVIDIA. But if we break 450 at this point, guys, it could look something like this, right? Consolidating for a while, and then we kind of break below here. But on the weekly, a lot of space to work with, guys. Anything above 404 is just going to be looking for a weekly higher low if ever we do flush this 450. For now, still holding, so I'm not giving it to the bears just yet, but cutting fairly close, guys, fairly close. As I was saying in my previous videos, one of two things going to happen. 450 is going to break. We're going to lose the daily uptrend, and we're going to go into weekly consolidation. Then you look at 404. Or we're going to trend right back up to the highs here and crack 503, and your weekly uptrend will just continue as if nothing happened, and your daily uptrend as well, right? So stuck in a bit of a range here at the tops on NVIDIA. Crucial day tomorrow. Can they hold the 450? That is the key level. If we lose it, guys, take a big look at this 404. NVIDIA bulls still with a decent amount of space to work with. 12 EMA is down here as well, right? This is all previous support area, so the bulls are currently playing a decent amount of defense in this whole area here, but they won't be able to use it forever, right? We're going to need some broad market participation, and these daily pullbacks have been quite significant, in my opinion here. So let's take a close eye on that. Tesla once again here, ever since Monday, has been putting in extremely volatile days. Once again, since the close yesterday, dropped around 3% and then recovered pretty much intraday here, guys, right? So on the hourly, big tightening range here, guys, right? Big, nasty tightening range. Very wide range, guys. This is like a $20 range almost, right? So fairly big range for Tesla, about an 8% range back and forth, right? So daily bulls are still in control here, right? We're getting a tightening range at the top of the move here, playing good defense around the moving averages. We will see. Tesla is in the same situation, guys, at this point, okay? If we lose 241, 240, then you could set up for a new daily downtrend, which would mean that your weekly move up is topped out. We're going to be looking for the bulls to hold our 212 lows here to really try to reverse this weekly downtrend or this weekly downswing, because they never set the downtrend. This flush the lows would be a weekly downtrend. Looking to really set a new weekly uptrend off of this. Bulls looking fairly healthy in the ways that they can recover here. But guys, we're going to need one of two things to happen. Break of 240, daily downtrend is going to be new on the weekly. Going to offer some big pullback here, back into my sweet spot potentially. But if we do get a break to the upside, guys, 260 would just confirm the continuation here of your daily uptrend. So we're going to take this one day at a time here, a bit kind of like NVIDIA, right? Trapped in this big little range here, guys. We're going to see how these lower time frames play out and how they break, guys. Really tough to know how this range is going to break. In my opinion, really depends. Tesla's been doing a great job here of putting in some green days and some good recovery while the rest of the market is red. But can they do it forever while the market continues to come down? Well, we're going to see, guys. But definitely, if we get some good broad market recovery here on SPY and QQQ, well, I think that Tesla will be the beneficiary of some move to the upside as well. Now let's look at our two last stocks. excuse me, guys, Palantir. Palantir with some decent recovery here on the day here, right? But same thing, right? They set up the daily downtrend, but didn't close it, right? So you're going to keep a very close eye, guys. Not satisfied. This is like Microsoft and Facebook. Not satisfied with the size of the move on the weekly, right? It's been 3 weeks of potential bounce here. They haven't been able to capture much of any of this move. Still struggling with our weekly 12 EMA here, guys. So we're going to take this one day at a time. I know I say that a lot, but it's all you can do in these situations when you're waiting to see how much of this move these stocks can take back. These moves were a very big move in August here. So the bulls have a lot of proving to do here, setting up for the potential daily downtrend, guys, already on Palantir, right? So very unfortunate to see that here on the weekly. We're now looking for the line in the sand level, which remains put here, guys, on the weekly, 1381. 1381 here, 1375, 1381 is going to be the crucial level the bulls can absolutely not lose. Palantir bulls, if they want to recover this at this point, guys, I absolutely need to see a break of 1640. Anything within this little range here is not going to do it for me. As long as they consolidate down there, it'll just be a weekly bear flag for potential flush in the future. At least their monthly bulls have a lot of space to work with here, but still daily just not getting it done enough for me. So keep an eye on that on Palantir. Palantir, my sweet spot. If we do pull back, $13 to $12 is a very good area for me personally to be picking up some more shares. PayPal coming down. PayPal with one of its worst days here in the last 2 weeks here. So down almost 2% here. No news specifically on PayPal today, really that much here, just pulling back with the rest of the market here. So eroding our space here. Anything above $60 was just going to be for a daily high or low. Still looking for it, but now the bulls are losing ground here, guys. Losing ground here, guys. With this day's move today, we pulled back almost 78%, right? Bulls able to recover a bit intraday. Palantir, PayPal was down over 2% on the day. So we'll see. Can they maintain the daily uptrend? Or will the bears have a setup to continue a daily downtrend, which would pretty much just continue a weekly downtrend setup into these lower levels here? We're going to take this one day at a time here, guys, on PayPal. PayPal still not satisfied. I wanted to see the move into the $66 area here, guys. Our weekly trend reversal is not safe. Not safe until we start really putting in some juicy moves here, just like this move back here, right? So we'll take this one day at a time on PayPal here. PayPal still representing some amazing value in my opinion. So even if we do pull back into the higher 50s even, I may even throw an average here into the higher 50s as well, because I really like this stock at these prices. It's cheap, what can I say, right? So that's pretty much it for PayPal. Need to see the bulls hold your $60 higher low at worst, right? Or at best for the bulls, at this point, we can expect a tightening range, maybe for future breakout, something that they did do pretty much all the way back here before further breakout, right? So we'll see how it goes, but PayPal really not moving on its own, really just a beneficiary of the ups and downs of the broader market, guys. So that's pretty much it for today's video. Tomorrow, we're going to do the portfolio recap as of every single Friday, and we'll see how we end up on the week. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, consider liking the video. If you're new here, consider subscribing. We always love to have you. And as always, if you have any questions, options, stock analysis whatsoever, macro trends or whatnot, please leave them down in the comments and I'll be more than happy to answer you guys. So have a great rest of your Thursday night. I'll see you tomorrow on Friday after the close. Peace.